Y'all, today is a good day. We have a pot of soup bubbling away on my stove. I've got a nice cup of gingerbread coffee. And I'm chit-chatting to you guys. What could be better? Friends, hello. Welcome back to Amethyst Craftworks. I'm Samantha, and today I'm super excited because I have a update on the Movie Marquee challenge for you. We're actually going to talk about some finished objects and stuff, like some actual crocheting instead of just yarn content, right? I'm super excited. I'm really happy with the way things are turning out with my Movie Marquee blanket. And so we are going to go over all of that here today. Now, if you are somehow unfamiliar with the Movie Marquee Challenge, I have talked about it here in, a couple of videos, a few months now here in a row. I started in September because I'm a derp and decided not to do it all year. Even before I started my YouTube channel, I wasn't participating for whatever reason, right? But I started in September, and so we had September, October, and now November. Now, I don't know about you guys, but holy crap, October went by so fast. I don't know if it's just because it's my favorite month. It's a month I look forward to all year, or just time disappears now. Whatever the case may be, October just kind of went by in a blink of an eye. And so we're now in November, which means there's a new movie, a new pick for the month. And if you aren't familiar, like I said, this is a challenge from Sandy from Crochet Canada and from Heather, the Crochet Witch. Hello, my friends. Hi. They will be linked down below, as well as their videos, which will explain all of the information to you that you could ever possibly need. But the gist of it is they are swapping back and forth, 1 month Sandy, 1 month Heather, and so on, picking movies and then basing a project on that movie and that movie's poster. And so since it's November, that means we have a new month and a new pick. And so I'm going to show you what I have done. So for November, it was Sandy's pick. Sandy's last pick of the year too, which is insane to me, I'm telling you. But Sandy's pick was this month, Twilight. I will put a picture up over here of the movie poster. Now, Sandy did say that we could do any of the Twilight movies, but I decided to do the original Twilight movie, the first movie. There's, what, 4 or 5 or something? Something like that. I did read the books. I did read the Twilight books, and I have seen a few of the movies. I know for sure I saw the first one, which is why I picked the original movie. I think, from watching on TV reruns and, TV airings of the movie, I think I've seen most of them. To be honest, I can't rightly remember, but I know I've seen the first one. So the first one is what I used as my inspiration here. And so my project is 12 granny squares, so 1 square for every month. I'm picking 3 colors out of the movie poster itself and then making a granny square. I'm doing 6 rounds of the colors of the movie poster and then bordering in black. And it's going to be a 12 square granny blanket, which we will get to in a sec here, but that's my idea. And so the colors that I chose from the movie poster, the first one is a very small, it's a small scrap pretty much now of a brown color. Now it's a warm brown, and it's not quite the same brown as Bella's hair, which is the color I'm going for here. It's as close as I could get because I'm also trying to use stuff from my collection, my stash of yarn. So this is the really not counting any of the new yarns that I have acquired. This is the only acrylic, like 100% acrylic brown that I have. So we went with this for Bella's hair, to represent Bella's hair. Then the second color I chose is navy. And the like this yarn is just like a random brand off of Amazon. I wouldn't necessarily recommend these. If you have better brown, you use that. That's all I've got though. But of course, Big Twist Value is a brand that I have not only used quite a bit here on my channel, but I also recommend it. It's nice and soft and squishy, and you get it. The blue that I picked is called Varsity Navy Blue, and I picked this because Bella in the poster, I think she has on a denim shirt or a denim jacket, I think, but it's blue, and the whole poster itself is pretty dark, so navy blue. And the last color that I've got here, let me wrap the tail up here just so it's not flopping around. This is, oh my goodness, safe, we grabbed it. So this is Mainstays. This is a Walmart brand. This is also 100% acrylic, 4-weight yarn, just like the other ones. Well, the brown one, I'm not sure. I think the brown one might be a DK weight, might be a 3-weight, but that's okay. But this one also, you know, worsted weight, gray, acrylic yarn that I use. The color is called, do we have a color? Gray. Who would have thought? But this is the third color that I picked because Edward, his jacket, he's got like a kind of like a wool coat on by the looks, and I'm pretty sure it's gray. So these 3 colors are what I picked, along with black, and I made the granny square already, and so here it is. Now I did the colors I tried to do the colors in a different kind of order than any of the other squares in my blanket, because as you'll see here in a sec, the colors, they're not the same throughout the blanket, of course, but there are some that kind of go from square to another square a few months later and so on, right? Like I kind of want it to be cohesive, of course, but I don't want it to be the same square over and over, right? So if you will remember, this was last month's square. This is for Lord of the Rings. So this was Heather's pick in October. And it uses this same brown, right? So I didn't want the square that's going right next to it to have a brown middle. I put the brown on the outside. There is another square towards the beginning of the year that uses this navy. And on that one, it's the last color round is navy. So for this one, I put it second, right? You get it. So this is my Twilight square. I like the colors together. I don't know if it exactly screams Twilight. Maybe I could have been a little more creative, but this is what we've done, right? This is the choice that we have made. So as I showed you, I've got October's here, and so this is November's. But can I show you this without things going to pot? So I'm joining the squares, like the last round, the black, is also a Mainstays. Now this has, this is quite floppy. This is also Mainstays. This is just black, I'm pretty sure. The other one was gray. Black, yeah. This one's just called black. This is my border color and my joining color for all my squares. But we have the beginnings of an actual blanket. Check it out. We've got January is over here to March. And then April is the red one here over to June. April, May, June. June. Then the very middle here, these solid colors, so the orange, the black, and the green, were granny squares that I had made for a tutorial slash testing video I did for some crochet hooks. I made some 7-round grannies, which is why all these granny squares are 7 rounds too. But I decided to just plop them in because I didn't have a use for these solid color squares. And I think they kind of make a good middle section, like a delineation for the first 6 months and then the last 6 months, right? And the colors, you know, the colors translate as well. There's orange and green in other squares it matches, but it also doesn't. And I kind of like that too. But anyway, so then the last row here, let me hold it a bit better. You can kind of see, so this last row starts with, this was Full Metal Jacket on down to September, right? September. So the very last row here that I have completed is September. Now I'm using the continuous join, which was a tutorial, a idea from Heather. I thought it was very fitting to do a project that she's a part of with her continuous join. I'm not sure you're going to even be able to see it. Can you? Not really. It's black, so you can kind of see it. There's a ridge right here that kind of goes along. And I was doing the continuous join specifically because I knew that I could join the squares kind of as I went, right? And then I kind of messed it up. I'm sure there was a way that I could brain the order of doing the squares to then be able to add October and November squares down here while still having the yarn attached, not having to tie it off, and then for December just adding the last one on. It's possible, but when I was doing it, I kind of had to work upside down. Like, as I'm working, the blanket is actually like this, like it's upside down, right? So I could not brain the way to do it. And so I still have 2 squares that aren't added, and that's okay. In December, I will make December square, whatever the movie is for December, and then I will just add them on because the continuous join, it doesn't take a long time. It's a great join. And then I think I'm going to do 1 solid round of black because these solid squares don't have black on the outside. They're just solid color all the way through. So I think to make it look a little more cohesive, I'm going to do 1 whole round all the way around and get the solid ones here, the green and the orange, to have a black border. And then I'm going to use all these colors, even this tiny little scrap of brown, however far this gets me. I'm going to use these colors and the navy. Where are you at? Here we go. The navy. I'm going to use these colors, all the colors that I have left over from the blanket that are already in the blanket. I'm just going to do as many rounds of border as I can, as the colors will allow. However far I get with whatever I have left is going to be the borders. And I think I may do on the sides here, I may do some granny stripes along the sides and then do more rounds all the way around just to give it a bit more width, right? Because it can kind of almost all go in frame there. It's not a wide blanket. It's long enough that I would say I could probably sit here comfortably with it, you know, like this, even as it is. without the last three squares on it. It's a decent length. So the length I'm happy with. The width though, it could be a little wider. I would like to be able to like snuggle up underneath it, right? So I might do some granny stripe rows on just the sides in whatever colors tickle my pickle, you know, whatever colors sort of match but don't match, because I kind of like the scrappy sort of way that it looks. The colors do sort of run through it, surprisingly. Like there's the green down here in this square for, this was, Dude, Where's My Car? It's here. This is the green, the same green. The orange is here. Orange is here and here. Orange is here. You know, I like the way it's still cohesive, but it looks scrappy. And so I may just, you know, whatever colors I decide to do, in like whatever order I decide to do them on the sides, and then border, and I think you guys get my vision. We'll see. I can kind of go crazy with the colors because this is so colorful too. And I also, one of my like goals, not even a goal, like one of my inspirations really for crochet in general is, I'll put a picture up here too. It's has nothing to do with the Movie Marquee challenge, but the crocheted afghan that's on the back of the Connor's sofa in Roseanne, in like the old Roseanne episodes. That blanket has been like, I need to make that. I need to make something like that in my crochet career here. It needs to happen. I need to have a replica of this blanket. And this kind of feeds that need. The granny squares, from what I'm remembering off the top of my head, in the Roseanne blanket are smaller. I think they're also like one round is a different color and they're smaller. So maybe they're 5 rounds or 4 round grannies, but I'm almost certain they're all bordered in black and like joined in black. And so that's kind of what this blanket is giving me vibes of. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love it. So not only do I love the fact that this is a project for 2 of my favorite people on YouTube, not only do I love this project because the colors are crazy and it's using up yarn that I had no other plans for, but it also is kind of vaguely inspired by something that I have wanted to make since I started crocheting, right? It's all kind of coming together with this blanket. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it so far. I think it looks great, and I can't wait to see what December's pick is, and if it's gonna match, if it's gonna stand out, you know, whatever. I am so excited to get this done. I'm hoping that I can get it completed by the end of the year. I will do my very best to do so, but I have a lot of other projects I need to work on. Gifts, Christmas gifts, which kind of take priority over everything else, which, as it should be, of course, you know, if I'm going to be a gift giver of homemade goods, then you gotta actually make them, right? So we'll see. I will do my very best, though, to ensure it's done by the end of the year. But if not, it will certainly be done as quickly as I can in 2023, which also, my God, does that sound weird to say, 2023? Whatever. So before we have an existential crisis here over how fast time seems to slip away from us, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you watching here. I know you guys have very precious little time to do YouTube watching. So the fact that you were watching me, it means the absolute world. I appreciate it so much. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, because I would love that. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, because I would love to have you join us here. We're a fun group. And if nothing else, I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate your time so much. And I hope you have an awesome day. And until next time, goodbye.